In Kingsbury Hall tonight, we have a small and socially distant audience. Among other things, everyone in the audience is required to wear a face mask, and the candidates will be seated 12 feet apart. Please welcome California Senator Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence.
Well, the American people have witnessed what is the greatest failure of any presidential administration in the history of our country. The vice president is the head of the task force and knew on January 28th how serious this was. They knew and they covered it up. The president said it was a hoax.
The reality is, Dr. Fauci said, everything that he told the president in the Oval Office, the president told the American people. President Trump and I trust the American people to make choices in the best interest of their health. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris consistently talk about mandates.
They still don't have a plan. Well, Joe Biden does, for contact tracing, for testing, for administration of the vaccine, and making sure that it will be free for all.
The reality is, when you look at the Biden plan, it reads an awful lot like what President Trump and I and our task force have been doing every step of the way. It looks a little bit like plagiarism, which is something Joe Biden knows a little bit about.
Well, let's get
but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I want to add, but Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I'm
speaking.
I think we need to move on to the issue.
Well, thank you, but I would like to go back.
If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer, they're coming for you. If you are under the age of 26 on your parents' coverage, they're coming for you.
Vice President Pence, do you believe that climate change poses an existential threat?
As I said, Susan, the climate is changing. We'll follow the science. But once again, Senator Harris is denying the fact that they're going to raise taxes.
Joe Biden has been very clear that he thinks about growing jobs, which is why he will not increase taxes for anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact.
America, you just heard Senator Harris tell you, on day one, Joe Biden's going to raise your taxes.
Joe Biden believes you measure the health and the strength of America's economy based on the health and the strength of the American worker. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who measures the strength of the economy based on how rich people are doing.
Despite what Senator Harris says, the average American family of four had $2,000 in savings in taxes.
Joe Biden's economic plan has said will create 7 million more jobs than Donald Trump's.
We've already added back 11.6 million jobs because we had a president who cut taxes, rolled back regulation, unleashed American energy, fought for free and fair trade, saved 50 million jobs through the Paycheck Protection Program. Let me say, President Trump and I could not be more enthusiastic about the opportunity to see Judge Amy Coney Barrett become Justice Amy Coney Barrett.
We're literally in an election. Let the American people fill that seat in the White House, and then we'll fill that seat on the United States Supreme Court. I will always fight for a woman's right to make a decision about her own body. But let's also look at what else is before the court. It's the Affordable Care Act.
Senator Harris, in the case of Breonna Taylor, was justice done?
I don't believe so. And I've talked with Breonna's mother, Tamika Palmer, and her family. And her family deserves justice. She was a beautiful young woman.
But I trust our justice system, a grand jury that refused the evidence. And it really is remarkable that as a former prosecutor, you would assume that an impaneled grand jury looking at all the evidence got it wrong. But you're entitled to your opinion, Senator.
I will not sit here and be lectured by the Vice President on what it means to enforce the laws of our country. I am the only one on this stage who has personally prosecuted everything from child sexual assault to homicide.